Alright, so Fred, when did you decide you wanted to become an artist?
Well, when I was a little kid, my mom, she would bring home stacks and stacks of paper for me from work. And me and my brother and sister, we would all sit at the dining room table and we would just draw for hours on end until it was time to go to sleep. So I guess I knew I was an artist when I was a little kid because my drawings were always superior to my brother and sister's. And so I guess when I was a little kid, I knew I was going to be an artist, but it didn't really, I didn't see it really happening until I was older, until I was later in high school, like 11th grade. That's when I knew art was my true passion.
What would you say your style of art is?
That's a tough one. Well, I'm very much contemporary, and I would say my work is, I like to play with I don't think having one type of stylization is acceptable anymore. So I kind of play with everything. I've been through abstraction, I've been through realism, hyperrealism, surrealism in a way. But I think taking all these bits and pieces of different stylizations and throwing them to one is what I do. It's a little bit of everything.
So what do you want to accomplish with art?
Well, I want to be a painter for the rest of my life and have people appreciate it. I don't care about rich and fame. I just want to be able to live comfortably and be an artist and do what I love.
Pretty respectable. So Fritz, you also played hockey for a long time and throughout all of high school. What made you quit?
I think hockey's a great sport. I mean, I still love it. It's still fun to play, and it's a good way to get together with people and have a good time. But since painting became such a big part of my life, hockey it was a distraction for me. It was taking up too much time, and also towards the end of my hockey career, the people I started to play with, they all had this cliche notion on life and just kind of settle for less. They thought hockey was what truly defined them. They thought that was what the whole world represented. The only thing that mattered was hockey. So I wanted to escape from that. I couldn't stand being put down, getting picked on for being an artist, for expressing myself in a multitude of ways. I kind of got sick of it, so hockey ended for me. But, it's still something great to have a good time with your friends with.
Also, throughout your senior year of high school, you were a part of the Albright Knox Art Gallery program. How was this experience?
It was a mind-opening experience. I loved it. It was probably one of the greatest things I did in high school. It was, so I got hand-selected to be part of a small team of students throughout all of Western New York. And within the program, submissions came from all around Western New York and Toronto, so all around the area. We had submissions of high school artists, and they're trying to get their piece shown at a national gallery, the Albright Knox Art Gallery, and so we received over 500 submissions, and it was our job to design, curate a show based on those submissions, but we had to hand select roughly 50 in order to not have an overload. And of course, the Albright Knox, it's precious space. It's like Manhattan real estate. So we had to create a small show using all these pieces, developing a theme and idea, and we put on a big show. It was a great experience. I learned so much from the Albright Knox staff and just being around the great masters every Thursday night at the program.
Thinking back, or maybe recent, what was your favorite / hardest piece to create?
I guess I can't figure out one piece that really was a challenge, because in painting, everything you make is a challenge. Every painting's a battle between you and the canvas and the mush you put on there. So I would say, in general, painting is a challenge. It's always a challenge. That's that's the great thing about it. That's the fun of it.
So who and or what inspires you in life to keep painting?
There's everything. I mean, that's the thing about it being an artist. Everything inspires you. So living in New York is the biggest inspiration for me right now. I mean, you're just coming from a small town. You're forced into this big city with very diverse, lots of cultures, just infused in this small little cram city. So you're inspired constantly. I mean, there's art on every single block. I remember one of my first days in New York, walking down the street and looking in this high-end apartment lobby, and seeing a Mark Rothko painting on the wall, and it just blows me away that the arts and the cultures is so, it's pushed forward there. The people who love art are the ones that strive, the ones that are higher. And in a small town, it's the opposite. The people who love art are the ones that are kind of like the outcasts. They're kind of they're shunned. They're like, ooh, what is this freak doing here? So being in New York is truly inspiring because everyone appreciates you being an artist. They want you to be an artist. It's mind blowing.
So speaking of New York City, you actually had an art show at 7 Grams Cafe on November 26th. What was your experience like?
It was cool. I mean, having your first show in New York is always a big deal, and it being in Manhattan, down the street from Times Square, it's pretty. I would never, looking back a few years from now, I would never expect me being in that place. It was really a great experience. My whole idea behind it was to show some of my work and to get artists like me, young artists from New York, to the show and kind of collaborate with each other. You know, talk to each other, show each other our sketchbooks, our portfolios, and talk about art. Because I think one thing you need in art, you need art friends. You need to be able to have cool people to share ideas with and to be able to talk with each other about art and go to galleries together. So I wanted my art show to be kind of a way for people to get together, artists to get together.
So how were you able to display and show off your work there?
I went about getting the show just by emailing the owner of 7 Grams. It was easy as that. I sent him an email showing him my work, show him my interest in 7 Grams, and he told me, "Are you ready next week?" I was like, "Yes, of course." So I had the show.
What made you choose Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City for college?
It's all about the location. I mean, the Fashion Institute is on 27th Street off 7th Ave, which is Midtown in Manhattan, and that's if I wasn't going to school there and I was paying money to stay there, it would be ridiculous. I wouldn't be able to afford it. I couldn't live there. So me being able to live there for such a small amount of money in college it's perfect. It's a dream come true, and I'm surrounded by museums and galleries that have the greatest paintings ever created on this earth. So Fashion Institute is a perfect place to go.
So Fritz, what was it like moving from the small town of Niagara Falls to a big city like New York City?
Coming from a small city, when you're in a small city, people look at you, like if you're an artist, if you're expressing yourself, if you're unique in some sort of way, people look at you like you're crazy in a small city. Everyone wants you to just stay to the norm, do what everyone else does, and just play a part in this simple kind of world, this simple structured world. But moving to New York City, where everyone is crazy, everyone's diverse, everyone's unique, people love artists there. They love people who express themselves and do what they want. So moving to New York City was a big culture shock. I mean, for once in your life, everyone's a wacky artist. It's awesome. I mean, everywhere you go, there's just culture forced on you. There's art forced onto you. It's a beautiful thing. There's this one really great quote I live by that was in a song by Lou Reed and John Cale on the album Songs for Drella. The quote is, "The only thing good about a small town is you hate it and you want to get out." Because that's how I felt. I was sick of people picking on me and looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm making kooky art. I mean, who else is gonna do it? You have. I just want to make things. It's what I live for. I mean that's why I'm in New York City now. It's where I'm supposed to be.
What would you do if you could not be an artist?
If I couldn't be an artist, If I couldn't be an artist, I would be. Well, I don't know what I would be. It's because it's the only thing I ever really liked. I guess that'd be something cool. Maybe an archaeologist. That'd be cool. Something that's out of the norm. I hate living in this kind of, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, or you're going into the construction field. Yeah, I hate that. No, I think you should be what you want. So, I mean, being an artist is what I want, so that's what I'm going to be, and I don't see myself being anything else.
And lastly, what are your future plans with art and life?
I just want to keep building. I want my work to be shown. I want to travel. That's a big thing. I want to go all around the world and do paintings. So from here forward, my goal is to create more and more art, and that's my job. That's what I chose this lifestyle, so I have to work. I have to create. I can't stop. Because if you stop, then, well, you're done.
One night of magic rush, the stars a silver touch. One night to brush